Here's the HK USP Gel Ball Blaster toy from TriggerToy.com. Obviously, I've done a little bit to it. I'm going to tell you about that. And I'm going to tell you a few different things too to keep in mind regarding this blaster. So first off, since it was an HK, I decided to kind of use the HK logo, kind of do some patterns with it. Now, unfortunately, there was nothing I could print that was perfectly spec'd. So this is kind of a modified version of something I found. And so it ended up being pretty big, but this blaster is pretty big anyway because of where the battery is. And so the front end is just bigger than a lot of other blasters of this style. So that's kind of what I made for it, was this nice kind of rail here, so that we get the top rail. We put a little optic up there, got a little laser and a flashlight down here, and this is from a new brand on Amazon called XYH-Win. And so there's something, they have a lot of different accessories on Amazon that are pretty reasonably priced, and that's got a little magnetic charger, which is kind of nice. Of course, if I didn't have this big attachment on here, this could slide nice back to the actual trigger guard. So I did put a bigger rail on here than what came with it, just because, again, it was a very small rail and it was actually wider than a typical Picatinny rail, so you couldn't fit things on it. So I went ahead and just printed something new that I could connect on there underneath the battery. So that gives you a good look at it, so nothing too crazy. Went ahead and just put this big sleeve basically on the tracer, just to make it, safer. Now, this is interesting for a couple reasons. First off, it screws clockwise, which is very rare. Almost all of these are counterclockwise. This one is clockwise. And this tracer, you can see how this blaster works. It actually has a nice long barrel, inner barrel that goes all the way in through the tracer. And the tracer sensor on this was actually way at the end, right? Most tracers are not like that. Okay, most tracers, if you put them on this, they wouldn't work because the sensor would be back here and the gel ball wouldn't go through it. So now, unfortunately, I dropped this tracer or something happened to it and it will not work. And I tried a lot of different things, tried to switch the battery, tried to go with a different power source, thought maybe the battery was dead or something was wrong with it. It wouldn't work. So, but what I can show you is how this is what the tracer looked like, right? This was the tracer, and this sat inside there, right? And so really the sensor was right at the end of it, okay? Now, again, this one unfortunately broke, but I still think it looks cool with the fake suppressor. However, I do have a really long tracer that I made that allowed me to put a hop up in this part, and then the tracer's over here. So this actually will work on here because the tracer sensor is right about the same spot. It's about, this is longer, but we can see the tracer there, and the tracer starts about here, so the sensor's back there. However, again, this is that clockwise threads, but they include what you can put on right here, which are counterclockwise threads, 14 millimeter counterclockwise threads. So you can just screw that on tight, and then now you can go ahead and put something that is the standard 14 millimeter counterclockwise on there. So that's kind of a cool little bonus that they include, which is nice because, like I said, 99% of accessories are those 14 millimeter counterclockwise that you're going to end up putting on here. So anyway, I'll put this back on. This has got my nice little HK pattern going, and then we got the HK pattern through there. So check out TriggerToy, TriggerToy.com. This is the HK USP, really nice blaster, right? So probably do another demo with it, probably put the big tracer on it, and then do an outside demo at night so that you can really see that tracer in action too. Comments, questions, post them below. Of course, like, subscribe, share my channel with your friends, and remember those YouTube contests where you can win over $300 in custom blasters and accessories. Thanks.